subscribe and like the video. Yay! Anyway, today we are going to be talking about Artemis Fowl by Eoin Colfer. So, this guy here. Now, in this video, I'm just going to do a overview of the books in general. So, if you don't know, there are quite a few books in the Artemis Fowl series. Okay? And the general gist of it is he is a child genius, a prodigy. A prodigy, and the term comes to mind, the phrase, he is too smart for his own good. And if you go through the series, you will see this actuated time and time again. So, what do you say we read the blurb of this book so you can get a inkling, right? Because I'm not doing spoilers. These are overviews, so not going to be spoilers. So enjoy to your heart's content. So let's go, without further ado. It says, "Stay back, human. You don't know what you're dealing with." 12-year-old Artemis Fowl is a brilliant criminal mastermind, but even Artemis doesn't know what he's taken on when he kidnaps a fairy Captain Holly Short of the LEP Recon. So, if you don't get that, Leprechaun, LEP Recon unit. These aren't the fairies of bedtime stories. These fairies are armed and they're dangerous. Artemis thinks he's got them just where he wants them, but then they stop playing by the rules. And at the back it says, shortlisted for the Whitbread Children's Book of the Year. And the Guardian has said a huge hit. Independent has said brilliant fantasy, right? Brilliant fantasy. So as you can tell by the cover, if I hold it close, there's some squiggly, weird looking hieroglyphic lines. Can you see this? Of course you can. Because of the supreme quality. Anyway, those are meant to be fairy text, okay? Fairy text. So as you've heard from the blurb of this book, Artemis Fowl, he is a child genius, the prodigal son, as it were. But he's also a criminal mastermind, which must mean his family are also criminals, you think. And he's arguing with things that, well, they're leprechauns, okay? Now, as you know, all leprechauns in the myths or the things have a pot of gold. Also, hang on a sec, this is set in Ireland, okay? Hence the leprechaun, hence Artemis Fowl, hence, as you know, early on in this book, you'll see references to the Emerald Isle. Okay, all Irish landmarks. And I think somewhere in this book there's a reference to the Great Causeway, which is also Irish. But anyway, let's get on to the character, the overview, right? So Artemis Fowl is a person who creates a lot of problems. He does, and this is over the series of books. He creates problems and then he fixes, and then he goes to huge lengths, pains, gripes to fix the problems that he has himself created. But this is a problem because the book, he's a rich, right, criminal mastermind, rich, big money. So he has a bodyguard. You wouldn't believe what the bodyguard is called, butler, okay? Now Butler and other people in the cast bear the brunt of Artemis Fowl's machinations. And they don't even want to go through with the plan, right? It's just Artemis forcing his way to do the plan to increase his riches, his gold, his wealth. And also the name Artemis is Artemis. So Artemis is the name of a Greek goddess, the goddess of the hunt. And that's what Artemis thinks of himself. He is the hunter of profit, wealth, and dastardly plans, and all things to this kin. But he doesn't realise that every time he does one of these plans, he thinks it through to a certain amount, but not all the way through. So he doesn't foresee all the consequences of the plans. Like, for instance, as we mentioned on the blurb earlier, he kidnaps the captain Holly Short of LEP Recon, right? Like, you would think, fine, he's kidnapped someone. Every criminal mastermind has kidnapped someone. But no, this is not just kidnapping. This is kidnapping a sentient thing from a completely different species, which is the mad thing. And his logic, let me explain. His logic is he's old enough to be smart, and he's still young enough to believe in magic, which puts him in a unique position to pull off this madcap plan. Now the plan is get more riches. And then you ask yourself why. There must be another reason besides increasing one's wealth. Well, I'm not going to tell you. But let's just say it's family business, okay? I can put it loosely without spoiling. Just call it family business. But it is also a good comedy, because it has moments in here where he's forced to be uncomfortable in certain situations, or the ferry officer who he acquires makes him feel very uncomfortable. And you would think any normal kid would sort of give up, have a tantrum, go home, cut his losses at that point. But no, Artemis Fowl is a step above the rest of them. He is, as they say, built different. Just like you can be if you hit that subscribe button right now. Anyway, this book is, in my opinion, very good. It introduces you to all the main characters that you're going to be with throughout the other books. So Artemis Fowl, his butler, Captain Holly Short, these are all returning characters, which is great. And the returning thing is that Artemis Fowl, genius he may be freaking genius, but he is still a moron. He still doesn't know any social clues. He'll think he's being suave and this kind of thing. But when you're 12 years old and people assume that you're still a kid, suave is not something that, well, you can get away with as easily. And plus, Artemis Fowl doesn't really have much of a social life. His whole life is his butler, his manservant, and his general business, his criminal business. Right, so, let's see. So that is what we have. That's the overview of the books at the moment. If you want a deeper dive into any one of the Artemis Fowl books, just, I don't know, just comment down below. That'll be the simplest solution, okay? So without further ado, I'm going to end this video. Please subscribe to the channel and, well, ring the notification bell.